Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Esea broadcast. We are, of course, going to be kicking off today with a few matches indeed. The first one of so is going to be Valiance and Co versus Havu, and on paper, this is actually a really exciting matchup, Mitch.
It is indeed. I mean, the fact of the matter is Valiance do come in as pretty heavy favorites, but we're seeing Nuke coming out, which can always be a little bit spicy.
Yeah, it's an interesting one to cast, and I feel bad for Misty, of course, having to observe. It can certainly be a bit of a task to try and accomplish. But yeah, as you said, Valiant's probably coming in as the favourites, but I don't completely count out Havu. They have been a pretty decent roster. Of course, changes over the last few months, of course, have also kind of weakened them a little bit, but I don't count them out. To finish, teams in general, they've been looking good lately, and let's see how it's going to kick off, because Otto right now is being hunted down in hell, as Havu get themselves so much control to kick off this round alongside a couple of frags. And now with a 5-on-3, this is getting difficult. Slowy even remains to hold the rotation back from ramp.
2v5, not the ideal situation for any team to be in, but the Bombi and Planet presents an opportunity to maybe catch them by surprise as they put it down. Luckily, it's behind the default, so there shouldn't be too much to do. Valiant's not able to get in there, of course, with the... they'd need a player in heaven, which Havu already had. So 1-0, Havu were looking good. Now let's see what they invest into this round. That's always the curiosity for me. What do teams like to buy here? I don't like to see more than 2 SMGs. And Hoodie, he's going to oblige. Takes himself an AK to make sure that they have enough money to get a buy up if they do lose the next round. But right here, they're hoping to find a victory. Might not be too clean cut, as they're up against full pistols except for Autumn, who's a very comfortable AWP player, but he's going to be on the scout for now.
Yeah, as we said in general, we like to see those scouts combined with the pistols. Good for getting in the damage, finishing off players. It's just a solid combination. Havu, of course, haven't gone for a pretty safe buy with 3 AKs, just a couple of SMGs, plenty of utility. They'll be looking to try and take this round as clean as they can, and you can see even just to start things off how slow they're taking it, maybe expecting some aggression to come through from the CT side. They realize that's not really happening, and now just beginning the pressure towards outside. Slowy can get himself a bit of control. Even if he doesn't, it's still in the back of mind, the Valiance, that they could have done so, that they could maybe be creeping forward. As eventually it looks like we will see Havu making some progression, and it's in towards the ramp room.
Uncontested, able to walk on down rampant. The problem is if they take B now, that could present some issues for the CT side. Trying to get back in there with the scout is never too easy to work around. Low HP on Twixie would cause some problems here. Hopefully Zor's able to take one. And Ram should be pretty much on lockdown. Still, damage has been done by Valiance at this point. So committing to this, I think, is probably not too bad of a decision if they can find a kill in the next couple seconds. Outside of that, they could save over the weapons and carry them forward to the next round.
Yeah, it gives them a good chance to try and get the damage in the following one at least, so I'd say that probably is the best decision, but hanging around now with a couple of players for the moment. Hunter will actually end up taking down Saw, so that's, I believe, Mach 10 maybe to be picked up if they can retrieve it. Are they going to be allowed to save much, though? Esperanto decides to also stick around, gets one with the Deagle, but he's not going to be allowed to fall back. That bomb could have taken him down. Oh, maybe not. That's a very, very small range. I honestly thought that he would take a lot more damage than just like 20. Am I just silly, Mitch?
No, I thought so too, but obviously not. 2-0, 2 AK-47s. There's the third making an appearance. They do have to reinvest a small bit, so you can see it's not going to be too clean-cut of a round for Havu in general right now. The fact, though, that they're up against what is, again, certainly a weaker economy for Valiance than for Havu, gives them the chance to get that third on the board. And if they do it cleanly enough, if they survive... Well, I mean, realistically, I want to see them survive with all 5 players because you want to carry the armor forward. But even 4 should do it and allow them to still get a pretty comfortable buy for the next round. That's awkward. Hunter goes through the smoke, takes down Saw with the Deeg in hand. He's happy to retreat away back through that smoke. The man advantage claimed for his team doesn't last too long, though, as eventually it swings over towards Havu. They have no idea, though, that Letney is hiding behind that box in the CT spawn. That's an awkward flashbang from Zor. And Letney, playing this super patient, is going to try to catch them off guard, but unfortunately for him, patience isn't going to pay off. Havu have already backed off out towards outside, and they'll eventually go down towards Secret. A little bit awkward for Esperanto. No one was spotting him, at least. But this just means that although Letney has taken his time and waited there towards the CT spawn, he won't catch anybody rotating over. Whereas if they'd have went towards Heaven or Hell, he could have caught a couple of kills even.
Yeah, only having a USP initially though. That's kind of why he was, I guess, playing it a little bit slower. Would like to have seen him try and pounce with the teammate attacking hell though, but either way, wasn't able. At this point, Esperanto and Lenny, I don't think they really have much chance of actually pulling this round in their favor, but I guess it could be certainly worthwhile, especially for Esperanto to save over that Kevlar. I don't really think the scout would be too useful in the next round, as they should be going ahead and getting a pretty solid investment anyway. But let's see, maybe Lenny can perhaps even try and upgrade towards one of those rifles.
It's the opportunity with Zor up close. Problem is he's got full HP. And so if you're going for that fight with the scout, you got to land the headshot or he'll take you down very, very quickly indeed. Letney is creeping on down. A flash bang. Actually, Letney doesn't get caught by it. He turned around. But Zor's still able to find the kill nonetheless. Esperanto with just armor to save over. Really, the deagle won't matter too much in the next round. But as he finds that kill, the chance is there to pick up a weapon. Sadly, it is only a UMP. Which, no matter what, I really don't think Valiance will be playing with it in the next round, even if they do carry it forward.
Yeah, it's not really too useful, especially since Esperanto actually saves over the Kevlar, so I think the only way that would have been used if it was someone else had a little bit of less money, maybe you would have dropped it over for the extra utility, etc. But considering Valiance were able to actually save over from that second round after going for the force buy, they worked with some decent loss bonus coming into this round to get the op-out, rifles, and plenty of utility. But this is where they want to start picking up some rounds now. If they lose this opening gun round, then Havu are looking at a potential 5-0 lead, which, of course, is never ideal to give away this early on to an opponent who's on the T side of Nuke.
No, it absolutely isn't. I mean, in general, it's not ideal to give 5 rounds away. But, yeah, like you said, so early on, a 5-0 scoreline would just be massive for Havu. Especially coming into this as the underdogs to some extent. Like we said, though, they are a very capable team, and so Valiance won't feel too comfortable giving them that lead. Taking this round with rifles and the AWP on Auden. Could have actually had the op bot up by Esperanto and dropped over for a little bit of extra util on Auden. They both would have been able to afford it then, but...
It's just auto, I believe, by the way. Just
is it?
More in
I've always went for Auden. Okay.
I believe it's just auto.
My bad, Auto.
That's what I've always said.
Spent like a year just calling him Auden. My bad.
Well, I've never been corrected on auto, and I don't think you've been corrected on Auden, so I guess it could work either way. But it's working in favor of Havu right now. I don't think that really matters. Hunter goes down early on. They did find that opening, I believe it was towards ramp. And it looks like they are going to go ahead and try and regroup now. They have the setup, I guess, for a little bit of a split towards the say bomb site, but Valiance also has a pretty solid defensive setup, especially if that smoke goes down a little bit too late to cover off the push for Slowy. Esperanto gets one as well before eventually the trades come back, and Saw, he's on the lurk. He's going to be chewing into his opponents as he takes down Letney and is able to actually keep a second player at bay from being able to push up, allowing for that bomb now to be planted.
And again, a difficult retake on the cards for Valiance, running right on into that AK-47 headshot. Nexus taken down, and Auto is all that's left. He's got a weapon that is not Auto. It's a single fire. Bolt action rifle, the AWP in play, looking for a 1v2 after already finding a kill a little bit earlier on. The time is running out, and although earlier on he certainly had the opportunity to do it, right now it doesn't feel too likely. They heard him exiting, so they know exactly where he is. They've got him on lockdown. As Twixie comes in, they're going to try to take him down. Double peek this AWP and make sure it's not carried forward to the next round. Twixie's heard and taken down, but there it is. Hoodie in for the trade, and that's even an AWP saved over. So all around, a fantastic round for Havu, securing a 4th. And they know now that they're going to be up against a much weaker buy from the CT side. Although they won't be full buying or full ecoing. You know, but the money that they're in, they're kind of in a limbo where they can get a couple weapons out, pieces of armor all around. As you see, a scout, an SMG, a Mag 7, and 2 pistols in play.
Yeah, as we said, Havu taking that opening gun round means they should be 5-5 quite easily. But let's see. There's an opportunity here for Valiance to try and put up a bit of a fight. Are they going to be able to do it, though, is the question. Auto on that scout. Oh, a very tight angle that he actually does manage to make work. Saw kind of standing in the open for a little while, costs him his life. And will eventually be traded back by Slowy, who is being cautious of hell. Actually doesn't manage to get tagged down at all before returning a bit of damage. And now the amount of ground that Havu have actually managed to cover. And they also should be aware, of course, that scout is in towards the spawn. So they know where 3 players are positioned right now.
Exit takes quite a bit of damage as well as Auto. The problem here for Slowy, I suppose, is that he's pretty isolated. Only got 4 bullets. Eventually be taken down by that double peek Nexit with the trade. And into a 3v3. Look at the HP on Valiance. I mean, this round shouldn't see too much by the way of a victory for them. But what you can see happening is all the damage, the reinvestment that Havu are going to have to make if they lose even one more player. It could get very grim.
I mean, that is a positive that they've been doing the damage relatively consistently. There's enough in the reserve for a full buy for Havu, most likely. Unless they, as you said, end up losing 1 or 2 more players here, then they'd have to put pretty much everything into the next round. But let's see, pushing forward now. There is going to be a couple of players towards this A side of the map to try and defend, but with a Deagle, with a Mag 7, that bomb should be planted quite easily, and Twixy running actually gets the wall bang and holds for the second player as Hunter pushes forward into his death. That is going to be 5-0 for Havu. They keep 3 alive, so it's not terrible, and I don't think they'll really be too worried with the lead that they already have built up. On the other hand, though, Valiance, they're definitely beginning to sweat a little bit now. They need to start building this up into a strong CT side, otherwise it's going to be a struggle for them. And honestly, I'm kind of surprised. Looking at the statistics of this map for both sides, it's not a great map for Havu. They're willing to play it, but they've never been amazing on it. On the other hand, Valiance have had some pretty good results on it.
Yeah, it is definitely a surprise. And Nuke is one of those maps that if you get the bit of momentum rolling, though, you can be a very, very formidable force to deal with. And that's exactly what's happening right here. Twixy opens it up on the Hunter. This is the full buy round for Valiance, and they're falling apart. Esperanto's down, coming up through Heaven. Never mind Heaven, because Otto's already down towards the ramp. Molotov's down in Heaven, means nobody's going to be peeking there. And in a 2v5, Havu flawlessly claiming control of outside to the A bomb site, holding for the push on through ramp, and getting a connection on a kill from there as well. This is very awkward. AWP going to be removed. I like that from Slowy.
I guess you could say Twix running onto that A bomb site just split them in 2. I don't know if you get it.
Dean, I haven't missed this. I got it. I got it, Dean.
Good, good.
Okay, I got it.
I wasn't sure.
God
That
damn
one
it.
felt like a little bit of a reach.
No, it was... Listen, Dean, we need to have a word about this. We need to stop.
Those were words.
It needs to stop. It's time to stop.
No one needs to stop this for Havu right now, because if Valiance aren't able to put a stop to this within the next gun round, then I don't really give them much hope to try and fight back into this one. Havu right now with the momentum rolling, with everyone fragging, and on the other hand, Valiance, they haven't really been able to step up much at all. They'll have an AUG in this round, they'll have some pistols, maybe some Kevlar, but again, on paper, it's a round that should be favouring Havu, so they're looking at a potential 7-0 lead before Valiance can get anything on the board on that CT side.
I mean, Havu have already got the amount of rounds on the board that most teams end up walking away with anyways. They're very close to it. Like, 4 is most recently played against Valiance and got 16-1 here on DE_Nuke. But Havu, just an entirely different beast, and they've never been a team that particularly stood out to me as a Nuke team. They had that one game we saw at Copenhagen Games up against Tricked, but no, it wasn't even Copenhagen. No, it was even before that. It's online, I think, where they 16-6'd them. But outside of that, it's always kind of been a back and forth map for them where they've really struggled on.
Exactly. As I said, they're willing to play it normally, but it's never been the greatest of maps for them statistically. It's kind of like, okay, we'll let this through. We won't pick it, but if it's in the veto, we're confident enough. If we have the momentum going, if we're on our game that day, then we can certainly win it. It is a map we know how to play. But yeah, right now, they really seem to be on form. As I said, just pistols and Kevlar to surround that one AUG that was saved over. Havu taken their time as they sneak down into Secret, as you would, judging by the name. You don't want to be getting spotted going in there, obviously. But yeah, Twix, he's been left actually to lurk up towards ramp room, so it's kind of the brunt of the force working their way down towards B. They have then one player to try and cut off the rotations and maybe try and work from Squeaky a little bit later on. But a nice shot from Slowy. Opening coming in already, that weakens up the defense. We see Twixy take a peek in towards ramp, and with that drop Letney as the frags just continue in favor of Havu. Eventually one comes in for an Exa, which gives them an AK, but I don't think there's much hope for them actually pulling this round off anymore. A 4-on-2, that AK should probably just try and be safe, and will it even be allowed? Potentially. That was actually Esperanto that went down. He was looking to see if he could get a weapon potentially. Nexa already running away. It's
looking fairly likely that Havu walk away with this one, you could say. But Nexa won't be walking away with anything as they lose their final weapon that was in play. And a relatively clean round for Havu. I mean, a clean map so far, 7-0 up. But without losing any weapons there, and indeed not even burning through too much utility, you're going to see everybody sitting above 5k. I mean, most even above 7k coming into this round. And that presents a huge problem for Valiance, who haven't looked too good in the buy round so far. Even if they get lucky and win a one-off, they won't see any reward for it, as Havu will be right back on in there with rifles for 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. I'm trying to build up some hope in my head right now for Valiance. We said that they're a great team. They've had some changes recently, bringing in the likes of Nexa, of course, who's a great in-game leader. He's been there for a little while. Esperanto keeping Hunter on, of course. He's a Kovac. He's Nico's cousin. He's incredible in his own right. But right now, none of them are showing what they're capable of. This is just being a stump. And I'm hoping that they can step it up. We are only on round 8. It feels like it's maybe been a little bit longer than that just because it's so one-sided already. It looks like Havu are so close to the victory even though they aren't. It's more so that Valiance are just so much further away.
Yeah, indeed. It's just been such a difficult map for Valiance to do anything on, really. Pretty consistently, they've been losing the opening duels. They have got 2 on the board in their favor. Let's see if they can do it this time as Hunter picks up 1. Things look better for them than they have before, but the A side falls nonetheless. 2 for 2 trades look better for the T side with a Molotov towards heaven. That'll allow a safe bomb plant unless Nexa pushes through. He's caught them off guard. He's up behind. Only 1 though. Azor was there with the AWP, not flashbanged and able to find the trade. That was a great attempt by the CT side, but it doesn't work out. Hoodie though is eventually going to be taken down, trying to save the round. Azor got eliminated. And 7-1, Valiance end up winning the round, but my god, that was a lot closer than it really should have been, and especially for the first round on the board, you wanted to see Valiance walking away with a fairly convincing one. Not where they're kind of pushed into an SMG and a Mag 7 directly off the back of their win. And again, obviously up against rifles in this round and in the next one, even if they do win this.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but it's the start of what potentially could build them back into the game. It's just going to have to be a couple convincing rounds going in their favor, which it doesn't seem too likely, but it's certainly possible. Again, though, Havu kind of going back to what was working for them earlier, creeping down in secret, once again leaving just that one player to lurk up above, around lobby, around ramp room, etc. Looks like he may actually go towards outside now and see if he can maybe stop anyone from trying to flank out or even wrap around in towards main. But here we go. Otto and Nexa are ready to try and hold it down. The op being the first line of defense will actually be able to open it up. And a Nexa up close sprays down too. That's the bomb being gifted to them.
This round looks a lot better for Valiance, I gotta say. Oh, Hunter, okay. No problem, dude. You do you. Into a 1v5, Nexa on 7 HP, but how much can you really hope for Twixie right now? Again, Havu still have a full buy coming in the next round. They really want to do the damage here, though. Drop 3 rifles or so, make sure the Valiants have to reinvest. What the hell was that?
I don't know, the body just spazzing out.
Yeah, I don't think it happened on stream. I just noticed, but for us, it flew around.
It's different sometimes.
Saving over here. Twixie doesn't want to go for it. The real problem with that is that they can afford to lose that AK. It's better to save it as opposed to drop it over to Slowy, but I mean, I would have preferred to see him go for it just to try to find a couple more kills and make that economy for Valiance that little bit more unstable.
Yeah, I mean, it may have been worthwhile. He would have been able to rebuy anyway. Everyone else can buy for themselves. I guess it could be worthwhile for him to drop an AK over to Slowy, perhaps. Since he, of course, doesn't have quite as much money as everyone else. It would allow for him to get a bit of extra utility. But yeah, pause coming through a bit of a discussion now. It gives time for both sides, of course, to talk about what's going on. As Havu, they already have 7 rounds, but they probably do want a little bit more. So they don't really want to allow this to get out of hand. They realize now that that money that they built up is beginning to diminish somewhat. So they want to try and get back into their winning ways before they really give Valiance an opportunity to get their foot back in the door.
That pause coming through is a pretty important one. Like, for both teams, this round is super important, but more so for Valiance. The economy they've invested here it was only the one kill that went down, but with reinvestment into utility, taking their kits out, it all adds up. And a loss in this round certainly won't help them out a whole lot. Also, you really can't afford to give any more rounds over to Havu. This has got to be the 8-7 half for them. Give them a chance when they go over, get their pistol round on the board. And just the fact that kind of recent lineup changes and the fact that Valiance in general seem to be the stronger team at the moment, excluding this matchup. When they move over to the T side, we may see a big change, a big shift in momentum from them when they're able to go to that more individual side and pull out things where they're not kind of relying on one or two players. Like, so frequently Havu have put half or more of the CT side on a massive back foot by just storming out onto the A bomb side, finding the opening jewels. And from that point, it's not only a disadvantage in numbers, but in positions as well. When you're trying to retake the A bomb site coming up through heaven, you're either pushing through Molotovs or nades, or you're swinging out onto a really open angle where absolutely everybody, like every angle is a potential enemy. And with a two-man advantage as well, you can afford to put multiple players on one angle. So you're now probably peeking into two guys. It just makes everything so much more difficult.
Yeah, certainly could be working together a little bit more. Hopefully this pause isn't going to last too much longer. I'm gonna go out on a limb at this point and presume that it was probably a technical coming.
Yeah. I think usually they're between 30 seconds to a minute for any tacticals.
That is normally how it goes. I'm having a look at the ping, etc. quickly. Doesn't seem like that's an issue, although Twixie is on 75, so maybe that's the issue. Slowly going down, but very, very slowly.
Yeah, we're not 100% sure what's rolling on in, so we'll go try to figure that out in the back end and let you guys know in chat. Pop back on into the game, but until then, I guess we'll throw on a couple tunes for you of Misty's selection.
I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under beach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after.
Look into your eyes, I see the colors of your soul, and I recognize every single line, every single roadblock. We are two hearts that beat in time, and the tide was looking down all night, blocking out the sun that we need. Maybe we can change our stripes and colors. You're the only one I see, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Into my outside, stay up all night.
And we're back looking at Havu running on out of the T-spawn as it's 7-2. Technical issues are resolved and everybody's ready to rumble. Full AKs on the T side. Well, that is except for Slowy, who's been the massive impact player for the T side so far. He's taken himself an SG 553.
Yeah, you like to see the old Krieg coming out. It's a good weapon for sure. Looks like we're going to see a really quick play towards A actually in this round from the T side, and as you can see so far, Mitch, it's not going too well for them. Hunter and Esperanto combined to shut it down. Saw gets one, but that's all that's allowed. No sequels today.
No, none at all. As it's all going to be on Zor. 1 versus 4. They've already got one, but can they get some more? Well, that's the question, because Valiance right now have got a lot of money in the bank if they win this one with 4 alive, especially considering the fact that they'll probably be up against an eco for the next round. This is really where Havu had to make their last stand. But realistically, at this point, that stand's already been made. This should be... It should be a relatively clean closer. The only problem is that Esperanto's low HP. Luckily, Hunter is peeking towards the door. So as Zor walks out, he'll find it very difficult to even find a kill. If he takes down Hunter, though, that could be a very easy second on his close right if he checks it. Actually, Esperanto's outside. Never mind. The X-ray failed me from where I was looking at it. No kills to be found. Yeah, I thought Esperanto was tucked up close in the vents.
It's okay, we'll forgive you.
I'm so sorry.
Just this one time. Don't do it again.
Oh, I'm trying my best.
The hell? What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're
Many
doing it though.
things.
3 rounds in a row. This wasn't looking very likely recently, but they're showing us what they're capable of now. A bit of a half investment coming through from Havu with pistols, some Kevlar and utility. But this should be Valiance taking a 4th round. And if they can bring it back up to 8 at the half time, they actually put themselves in a decent position. It's not as CT-sided as it used to be, of course. With a recovery like that, with the momentum then going in their favor, if they get that 2nd pistol round, then suddenly they're actually in the driver's seat. But let's see, because Havu, of course, they still have the opportunity to try and grind out another couple of rounds.
The opportunities are there, but probably not in this round. This is where they look to try and isolate a couple players. Luckily, Otto is very quick to go down that ramp and get himself to safety. Letney's been approached from both sides. A bit of an awkward spray. He's low on ammunition now and eventually going to be taken down. 1 kill on the board isn't amazing for the T side, though. They'll look for more. Shots connected by Zor and eventually finishes off Esperanto. In a 2v3, it's a winnable situation, but for the fact that 2 players had caught some nasty angles as Otto finishes it off. 7-4 is still fine. That's where, realistically, 2 kills on the board, not terrible for Havu. And the fact they've already got such a massive lead with the potential to bring out, 2 more full buys, including this one, before the end of the half. So, like, anything they get from this point forward is a bonus. But Valiance are starting to look a little bit more like themselves.
Yeah, starting to warm up, but as we say that, of course, Twixie spamming through the smoke takes out Otto early on. It's a big player to be taken down for Valiance to kick off this round. They haven't really built up all that much money either, so if they end up losing this one without saving over with any players, then they'll invest everything, and even then they might have a bit of a limited buy. So this is not ideal. Letting know he's going to have an opportunity, and he strikes down Zori and falls back into a safer position now, as the info should be given over as well that there potentially could be that cross into secret already. It doesn't seem like they may have, though, because they're yet to rotate anyone down. Closest player being in the ramp room currently. I believe Letney going to rotate over, though, and you know that gives them a little bit more room, I guess, to make the decision if they want to rotate a player down to B, rather. Oh, and that's a nice nade.
And beautiful little nade, beautiful little chunk of damage done for the investment as they move towards the ramp, though. Havu dropped a Molotov. Letney's going to find it hard to get out of there and eventually burns to death, jumping down. Twixie thinks he's playing Assassin's Creed. The CSGO's going pretty well for him up until that bullet to the head. Hunter swings out for even more, but a little bit over-aggressive. As he's going to be taken down by Hoodie, that leaves a little bit of a gap in the defense. It's all onto Esperanto to try and close that. Oh, gets the timing right, pushes on through the vents. He hasn't been spotted by Slowy, and so he should catch Hoodie off guard. Indeed, he does. No idea where Slowy is, though. That's the main problem. The information is in the hands of the terrorists. Slowy just biding his time. He knows that that defuse has to be touched, so he can just wait.
Yeah, patience right now. That is the name of the game. Esperanto tapping the bomb, but not going to be sticking it for the moment. Slowy, he's made noise, but he also realizes that the bomb isn't currently being defused. As he plays with the doors, this could actually get dangerous, but he takes a step backwards, and as Esperanto takes a step forward, rather, it will be right into the bullet of the Krieg. Goes down, Havu going to be able to just about clinch out that round in the end. As Slowy steps it up. A buy again going to be available for Valiance. As I said, though, they'll have to kind of spread out a little bit, some drops coming in, etc. It will give them all the rifles, all the utilities, so it's not a bad buy by any means. But if they lose this one, then Havu get a 9th round. They're looking at a 10th most likely, as an eco will have to come through. It's a must-win round right now for Valiance, in my opinion, if they want to make this a half that they really can recover. And you can see the aggression coming in to start it off from the up.
They've got to try something desperate anyways, because something's got to change. At this point, it's just been so convincing for Havu from the get-go. Valiance have had their little stint where they looked a little bit better, but right now that could be the end of it. Not only can they not afford to give any more rounds, but if they lose this one, they've got no economy for the next. This is really just the last opportunity for Valiance to make this a decent half, or just not a horrendous one. Letney in a little bit of danger. He's been approached on. Here's the steps. Knows there's players up close. Calls for Hunter to peek out. Who finds a double. Now caught behind the blue box is going to be eliminated eventually. But he's done his job. Man advantage now in the court of his side.
Yeah, for the moment. Let's see if Valiance can hang on to that and close it out. Of course, having lost the outside control, it gives an opportunity to Havu to try and go for the split, etc. They can try and work around through hell, even if they wanted, or go down secret. Oh, sorry, though. He's been spotted. The gun barrel giving him away. And most importantly, that's the bomb now, just dropped out in the open. Outside of A main, there's just over 30 seconds remaining, so that needs to be picked up. And at that point, then, they may be limited to just committing to this A bomb site, which, of course, Valiance are currently set up for. But even then, the bomb, it doesn't look like it is going to be picked up.
I mean, with only a UMP, when you're taking that fight against an AUG, what do you really expect to happen? Another round the board for Valiance, and that was an important one, the one they needed. But it doesn't stop there. If Havu win this one again, there will still be an opportunity to leave some weaker economy over towards that CT side. So it's go, go, go. There's no time for stopping, as this has to be an 8-7 half for Valiance. If they fail to get that, if it's going to be 9-6, I mean, it's hard to paint a picture. Oh, where they have a chance. Slowy, with that armor, it's lit down to just 38 HP on the back of that nade.
Yeah, they're working their way back in. This is beginning to look a lot better overall for Valiance. As we also see Letney been able to shut down Slowy outside to kick off this round. So, just pistols in play. Kevlar onto Saw, no one else. A bit of utility, though, at least in the reserve. A little bit left over even after they throw that outside execute, fortunately. But it doesn't look like they're going to really do much with it. It is just Saw just hanging around waiting to see if he can maybe catch a frag. But as we look towards the radar, we do of course see that it's most of Havu at least grouping up over towards the ramp room. Their goal here being a bomb plant most likely, maybe get a couple of kills to keep that economy weak for Valiance. But it's not going to be easy. 3 players in position to hold this down already. Letney gets 2, but he will eventually fall, so that's at least 1 frag being brought in. But that's what it's limited to.
Indeed, just on the 1 frag means Valiance have no problem buying up into this round. And really, the minute that they won the previous, that was it. They had themselves a full buy for this. Let's see what Havu can do. 1 last chance to get more rounds on the board. I mean, 8 is fine. 8 is better than most teams would even dream of having on the Terror side against a team that is certainly statistically better at this map and on paper a better team as well. It's been a surprising performance from Havu. 1 last chance to get that extra round, like we said, and it's going to start with a very slow play. They spread out, look for contact, but find none, and with 1:30 on the clock, they're going to start grouping up towards that bomb and taking it towards outside by the looks of things.
Yeah, it seems like that is going to be the goal. Still plenty of time, though, so I don't know if they're going to be really too pushed on committing, but we are going to find out. A couple players trying to maybe go over the silo. It looks like actually a player up on top of the roof, rather, is also setting up some executes towards the A-bomb site, so let's see if that's going to be the case. potentially actually over towards Heaven. That smoke is. That should allow them to cross or get the control in general around this spawn area. Unless, of course, someone's able to step up and hold it down, and Lenny actually gets the second. He's been pushed, so should eventually be traded. But a 2-for-1 isn't bad. He'll be happy with that. Oh,
Otto's
no,
in
could be in
danger.
trouble. Yeah, no, he was fortunate to have even survived that long. And Twixie even finds a frag elsewhere on Esperanto. This is getting shaky. But Hunter, he pulls back one, but he's left all alone at this point.
Yeah, his position known, 21 HP on the board. He decides to wrap all the way around towards the ramp. But the question is, where does he go from here? They know that he was on A, so maybe they'll want to go towards that B bomb site. He's got a choice to make. But utility being expended towards A certainly indicates that Heaven should be his directional path. With 10 seconds left, they have to go for the bomb plant, and if he can rush up that ladder, he could actually catch them off guard. Only problem is that would give away his position, and he wants to play for the defuse. Crawling up there, they don't seem to be focusing on it too much. Certainly not, but utility comes out, catches Saw, finds the kill in a second. Hunter pulls it off with a 3-piece in the round. A 1v3 goes his way. And the 7th on the board for Valiance.
I'm confused. They have the hut mollied. Why are they both focusing? Why is one of them focusing on the hut and the other guy's kind of looking at hut as well while going out into the open? He's either coming from Heaven, the door, or main within those couple of seconds. And they were only watching one of those positions. So that's interesting. I don't know why they were still being cautious of the hut. Maybe he could have ran through the smoke, but then they should be notified if the noise is made, of course. But it's just a little bit of an awkward one. I don't think Hunter should have been given that opportunity to just come in from Heaven and have 2 free frags.
Yeah, it is a bit of an odd one because, like, all things considered, Hunter decided to make his way towards Heaven, what, 30 seconds ago? He started to rotate to ramp. He hadn't been spotted. Nobody had heard info anywhere else. So I'm not really sure why they just assumed he would have been sitting outside of hut. Because if you were going to make a play like that and hide, surely it would be towards the B bomb side. But that cost them. The lack of a read on where he was going to be rolling has given a 7th round over to Valiance, and the potential, if they win the pistol round, to recover things into a favorable scoreline for them. They are still on the terrorist side, though certainly the most difficult terrorist side within the game. Excluding Vertigo, I still don't think there's large enough statistics gathered on that. Give it a couple more months. But Nuke has always been a very CT-sided map, and considering the fact that Havu right now are ahead as they switch over there, things look very good for them. Already finding an advantage in this round as well.
Yeah, and a lot of damage as well going in their favor, so it's certainly going to be a tough one. Valiance, though, committing onto A. The actual bomb site itself doesn't have too many players there to defend. There was one in Heaven, but quickly pushed back off. Now it's up to the players coming from the door to try and get it done. As Hunter had an opportunity, he was able to find the initial. Otto just rips off the head of Zori and takes down Slowy as well. This is actually going in favor of Valiance at this point, as Twixie is the last man left standing for Havu. And he's been spotted outside of main. They've got him pinned in. There's 3 players with their crosshairs all focused on this position.
What a way to pull it back. Twixie shouldn't have too much to say about this. They're all playing it patient. Flashbang goes in. Letney's going to be taken down, but there's 2 players looking at him. So Twixie won't survive all too much longer. 8-8, Valiance win the pistol, and now the potential for the comeback is certainly on the board. What do Havu decide to do here, though? Do they want to go in for the force buy? And yes, they do. That scout comes out, pistols, SMGs. And if Valiance can win this one, they're up to a 10-8 scoreline. And favorites tend to perform pretty well on the T side in general. I think whenever we see matches of this kind of caliber, it would be the CT side that suffers for the underdog. Let's see if that's the case again as we roll on into the 2nd round of the half. And already, Slowy's been pushed away from outside with the scout. He's going to go back for the retake, but that's a little bit dangerous.
Ooh. Nice shot comes through. Twixie on the MP9. He's able to get a little bit more aggressive, sadly into a position where he's not allowed to fall back off. So after he does find one, he goes down. But of course, combined with that initial deagle frag as well that came through, there is actually a man advantage in play for Havu. And with that now, Valiance, I guess, feeling a little bit pressured. They're going to just commit straight towards A. There's 3 players in position to try and defend, and Slowy on the scout, he chimes in with a quick headshot.
That's dangerous, though. Assault comes out and takes Otto down. It's a 1v3. Valiance need Hunter to step it up again. He manages to find himself 2. Molotov down, pushed on out a door. He's going to be coming through Hut, and they know this. Bomb being defused as we speak, though. He's got to push out fast. He gets the kill. Well, he doesn't have time to get the diffuser. Zor eventually takes him down and comes off it. Still a very good attempt in a 1v4 to find 3 of those kills.
Some solid damage at the very least, of course, being brought through as well with the attempt at it, but unfortunately, considering there wasn't really all that much invested for Havu, it was, of course, just the forced buy. That's not really too big of a deal. Zari is happy what he was able to bring over, of course, the rifle being dropped and not being brought out now for Zari. There's a couple of SMGs as well in play, or rather just the one SMG. It's actually a couple of masses in play. But up against the full eco from Valiance, that's not really going to be an issue. They should have a 10th round quite easily, double digits looking to be found for Havu, when it was initially Valiance who were looking to finally try and take that lead for themselves, and they let it slip away. Hunter, of course, has been playing quite well. Those few kills he got in the end allowed for a Deagle to come into play in this round. So a chance for some more damage that needs to be put in.
And that's what it's all about in this round. The fact that Havu have had to invest, you know, Valiance are going to take out AKs in the next round, so whatever damage they do here is going to carry forward to the next round and give them an easier time. Hunter unable to find the kill towards Heaven, backing off now, approaching the ramp, where he'll have another attempt. Otto going to be spotting them out. P250 in hand, trying to do a little bit of damage, and Havu at this point, they haven't really seen too much contact. It is going to be probably a late aggressive push towards that A-bomb site with Letney's position. But it's definitely not going to be the easiest to seize. Considering they know there's a player in Heaven, sending one out through, or sending the Deagle of Hunter out through the squeaky door would certainly make a lot of sense. Give him a little bit more of a long-range shot to take. And obviously then he'll get to show his head first instead of his feet when you run through the hut.
Yeah, it's beginning to come true now, though. The push for that B side. Letney actually gets a Krieg. I was going to say that could definitely put in some damage, and he does make it work for one more quick frag on the bomb site, but eventually being returned on, it's only Esperanto that remains. There was less than 10 seconds anyway on the clock, so he definitely wasn't winning the round. Fortunately, he does go down at least before the time runs out, so buy coming in now from Valiance. They need to make this one work. They cannot afford to have a slow start like they did on that previous half. Otherwise, the game will be over, most likely.
Yeah, indeed. On 10-8, this is not the time to have slow performances. Valiance need to do it right here and right now. AKs and a Krieg in play. Full utility on most players. As we start things off, a little bit of control towards outside is seized by Letney. Catching Saw above the smoke just serves to further amplify that point. A one-man advantage in play right now. Havu still have an SMG in the form of Twixie. Looking for smokes towards outside as well. Evidently, they want to take this over towards Secret. Well, perhaps towards Secret. Considering they have still got one...
I will. I suppose I'll be taking this over for the moment. Maybe his mic having some issues or something along those lines. Not too sure. But yeah, just pistols in play anyway for now for Valiance. I was gonna say shouldn't be finding a lot, but that got dangerous for Slowy and eventually did lead to his demise as he goes down. But again, should be finished off by the rifles relatively easily, especially as Saw is able to find that flank. Hoodie drops Nexa. And with that, it's only Otto who remains. A P250 in his hands, 1 frag so far. If he wants to win it, has to be an eco ace clutch. Probably not going to happen. It seems like Mitch has returned. We heard him breathing there.
Yo, no, I just tapped my mic to see if it was working. I was talking that whole time. I don't know. Apparently Discord just decided to die on us. That's always fun.
That's a little strange.
Yeah, I don't know at what point it cut out, but the smoke in the previous round was hilarious. Yeah. The miss on it, just causing them to push towards the A bomb site, going in towards 3 players. It's a big rip. 12-8. I mean, Havu at this point, I would not have expected them to put up this strong of a performance, even if it ends like right now 16-12 to Valiance, which looks really unlikely. That would be still a great performance from Havu all in all. But at this point, they should be closing it out, considering the leads that they've managed to gain in both halves.
Should be. I don't know. We seen Valiance pick it up after a slow start in the previous one, but it's a bit of a different, a bit of a different beast there on the T side, isn't it? It's not as easy. It can be harder to get your feet back on the ground once it's spiraling out of control. But then again, Havu haven't built up the most amazing economy, so a couple rounds in a row for Valiance could actually allow for them to really begin to close in that gap.
Nades towards ramp, don't see all too much benefit. And although you're seeing util thrown for an A execute, that's kind of just to hold them in with a false sense of security. Saw's a little bit lucky to be still alive. 32 HP as the wall bang was called off eventually. He'll make it down towards secret, where he can hopefully stop some of these T's from pushing on through. They've already gained ramp control, but hold on. Walking back. They faked out A, took ramp. Now they're going to go back towards A again. Sadly, they haven't dragged too many rotations down. You've still got Hoodie and Twixie here. Cause a little bit of damage. 1 down, 2 for Hoodie. Okay, that's not too bad for a squeaky hold out in the open. Twixie hears them coming. He's very cautious of Heaven as he swings on out, though. They're not... What? They're not checking him? Okay, able to walk away with that. Slowy comes in from outside to help out, and Saw, who we saw earlier on, is about to pop on up the vents to further bolster that defense, leaving Nexa to do it all. He's in the CT spawn, and with 10 seconds left, doesn't feel too good about it.
Nah, not feeling too good about it, and it's just about trying to stay alive at this point. He continues to find headshots, though, so I don't know if he should really be facing after time. I guess it's a risky one considering he has $700 in the bank, but I feel like it was kind of like, okay, guys, I'm wrecking you right now. You're afraid. You don't want to peek me. It doesn't matter. And you can see that was the case. There was a player for Havu in main who just kind of jumped away like, nah, fam, don't want anything to do with him.
That economy, I mean, this could work out for Valiance. Maybe. We got to see a lot of work done by Nexa. AK already opening up onto Hoodie, so he's certainly willing to oblige. Just Saw catches the foot of Otto. He's going to swing out, but Nexa just keeps on finding the kills. Hunter takes Saw down on outside as well. And this round very, very quickly swings over to be a T-sided one. 4 players left alive, up against 2 AUGs. Full utility for the most part.
It's still going to be an awkward round for them to lose. This really will give a chance for Valiance to try and work back into it, especially considering the economy isn't amazing. The only way Havu would be getting that complete buy for everyone in the next round is if Twixie manages to save over. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Twixie is the one, though, on this A-bomb site to try and defend. So that's not too likely. It's kind of a do-or-die situation for him. And unfortunately, as he's being a bit cautious of Heaven, he will actually end up getting shot in the back. Bit of an awkward spray from Otto, but eventually takes it. It's an AUG as well to be retrieved for Esperanto as the bomb goes down. And, of course, as do the chances of Havu being able to win this round.
Indeed, evaporating right now as Valiance come ahead. I mean, for Valiance right now, the path is pretty clear. They've got decent economy on the board. They're on 13 and 9. Havu, with 1 weapon saved over, will get a bye, but if they lose that, then Valiance all of a sudden are right up behind them on probably a 13 to 11 scoreline.
Apologies, Michelle. I had to go get the door.
No problem, darling. I'll forgive you.
Not sure how long you were waiting on me, so I didn't get your last couple of words. But I have returned, and it doesn't look like I missed very much. 13-9, kind of as expected after we seen how that previous round went. But it is a full buy again from Havu. As I said though, a couple of rounds for Valiance, and then suddenly that kind of lead that Havu had been building up can just go. It can begin to really fade away. If Valiance take this round, then they likely bring it up to 11. The guns will come out again for Havu. If that round goes in favor of Valiance, then would see likely an equalized scoreline. So let's see what's going to happen. Havu, they need to make this one count right now if they don't want this to be getting a little bit shaky. But it looks like a slow round so far from Valiance. Favoring towards outside. This has been a position that has been exploited throughout the game. It was a spot that Havu liked as well, at least early on onto their T side. It was somewhere where they began to struggle with a little bit. I feel like that was kind of how Havu were eventually beginning to build up those CT rounds. They began to kind of stack up this position. But that's not the case right now for that Havu side.
No, not the... So, well, look, at the moment, Havu having themselves an AWP. We can see them maybe getting some damage done by Zor. Don't see him use it too often. This could be dangerous, though. That flashbang's really good for Saw, able to find one Molotov down to keep him a little bit safe, and he's able to back down. Takes some damage on the way, though. It was close. Nade returned. It doesn't do as much damage as it could have. His Valiants are already bailing out. They're going towards the A-bomb site. This didn't go well last time they gave up for their secret hole or secret push. This time, certainly starting to feel a little bit different about it. Esperanto's got an AUG, and despite the man disadvantage in play, they've got information now on where their opponents are. They've lost another player in the meantime, though, and still have no combat towards heaven in their favor. Saul goes down. Esperanto drops down the vents. Autumn, I think he missed the vent. I'm not too sure what that was, but he gets eliminated, leaving Esperanto on 5 HP as the last alive. 1v2. Bomb goes down. Hoodie peeking out. I mean, he only needs to land one bullet here. It's so easy to do. 14-9. This is the road to victory for Havu. They are on the way. Now, sure, Valiance in the back of the bomb plant will get a full buy in the next round. But this is 14 rounds on the board with full investment for... God damn it, Zor. That's the most irritating thing.
Yeah, I don't know. He's just delaying. The tapping repeatedly isn't needed. He was just waiting for his teammate to go pick up upgrades, some utility, etc. But yeah, it's a little bit awkward in general. 14-9 right now for Havu. Valiance, they reinvest into this one, and they actually have a lot more money in the reserve than I thought they would, to be honest. That's somewhat surprising, but let's see. Letney gets the AK as well that was dropped on the floor. They actually still have enough to get into their buyout in the next round. But of course, they don't want to be getting to that point. They don't want to be giving Havu the match point already. They need to try and step it up right now. And if they do, of course, Havu haven't really built up much money. So this is their opportunity. Make this one count, or else it's probably over.
Indeed. Well, yeah, probably over is maybe even an understatement. I mean, at that point, you're on match point, 6 in a row needed. Valiance haven't been able to manage that at all so far. And on the T side, that's where the biggest ask comes through. But hey, look, they know where to throw the smokes now.
That's an improvement, Mitch. Apparently you were calling them out a little bit for failing their smokes back when Discord wasn't working for us. Oh
yes.
Can be on that cross. There's always a tiny gap, whether it's in the middle, whether it's on the left side of the smoke. There's unfortunately just too much room for the smoke to cover completely, and it does cost Valiance in this position.
And that's the advantage of having Saul playing so aggressively in the previous round. That they don't want to jump over it, because when they jump over, well, you can quite easily be caught by Saul. If he's playing passive, good night, Hoodie. The secret player not going to be lasting too much longer, nor is Slowy. As Saul now behind that smoke. It's a 3v3. Havu are on the back foot if this bomb goes down.
Yeah, they certainly would be. Otto coming in right now. Twixie in trouble. Will indeed be taken down. So that's the opening that was very much needed for Valiance now. That'll probably give them the bomb plant. The issue is they're taking a while, so Zori rotating in. Not going to be able to deny it, at least not from the ramp room. It was Saw instead who done so. There's only 8 seconds remaining. This bomb needs to be put in position right now, and it's in the open. The damage is being done. He runs towards the door. There's nothing that he can do anymore. It's a save for Otto. He backs away, but he gives up a 15 to Havu in the meantime. What the hell, Mitch?
That is certainly not the round you wanted to see unfold. My God. Havu walking away with 15-9 on the back of a round that didn't look
Oof.
their way at all. That's a big oof. One more round needed for the CT side to walk away with a victory. And someone might believe in it, but it's definitely not me. At this point, Havu have looked so clean throughout this. They could do it without even giving double digits to Valiance, who've had to forego a little bit of utility, but still able to make an execute towards the bomb site where Saul's already going to go down. Letney pushing out is caught in the open eventually by Slowy. They know he's up close, though, and although he does damage, his team are at a man disadvantage. They have no idea, though, that Twixie's up close in that smoke. Absolutely no clue, and this could get very awkward. I think Esperanto's being cautious of it, though. Indeed he is. Good night.
It was more so Twixie had no idea where the players could be around them, unfortunately. But a 2v1, this is winnable for Hoodie right now. Low HP on Hunter, Esperanto on 42, not looking too healthy either. Flash, though, actually going to go over the middle of the bomb site. Hoodie not going to be trying to follow up the peak immediately afterwards. Instead, tries to get a little bit of info and actually does hold for the flank. That's the high HP player going down, at least in terms of the context of both of them being so low. But Hunter comes in anyway. He wasn't expecting both of them to have actually pushed together and to have completely left the bomb, to have left the bomb site in general. But it works out, 15-10. 5 more in a row right now for Valiance is what they need. A positive is, looking at the economy of Havu right now, they're actually looking at a double eco, so they're going to force in. This force doesn't work out, Valiance then likely bring it up to 12. Maybe just 1 or 2 more gun rounds for them to overcome. So this is doable. Maybe a little bit more so than it seems, but it's still not going to be super easy.
Yeah, it's definitely not over just yet, but they have so many opportunities at this point. They have 5 chances to close it out. Really, 3 chances? So they're going to have 2 full buys and a force. Or 1 full buy and 2 forces, maybe, with the way that they're on. No. Right into Esperanto's grasp. Next, it takes Twixie, and the investment into the round shouldn't see too much more for the CT side. Really? Okay, Hoodie gets 2, 14 HP left. That isn't ideal. If you can at least pick up 1 more kill, that makes it doable for Saw, who's got armor and a CZ. They have to go back towards T-spawn to get the bomb as well, so it's not going to be a clean-cut round for Valiance. Oh no, this is awkward. Saw picks up the AK, and on the back of that, his position now unknown, and the fact that, sure, Hoodie's low HP, but he can hide pretty much anywhere he wants and catch them off guard with the AK. This is a very difficult round for Valiance to now pull back.
Yeah, this could certainly get dangerous right now. Fortunately, Hoodie is extremely low on health, and I was going to say Saw, of course, in a position there where he can't really do too much, able to actually get a dink in, but he takes it in return. So, going to have to play a little bit more passively now. That leaves both players extremely low. It leaves Hoodie completely gone, as he doesn't really have a need for them anymore. He has no head to cover up, as it's all on Saw. Coming to remain his position, of course, is known. The smoke goes down alongside a flash, but unfortunately, it's just too easy for Otto to turn away from it, look down afterwards, and take a headshot from above. 15-11. Valiant, they do manage to take that round in their favor, a lot closer than they would have hoped for. But at this point, the economy isn't really too big of a deal as long as they can just buy into the current round, because if they lose one anyway, it's over and done with. And of course, that one was the force buy from Havu, so now they're up against an eco.
And this should be a fairly easy one for Valiance, at least. So, again, another round on the board for the T's. That is, unless they fall to full USPs, which never really happens. It's certainly a rare occasion. As we look towards this round, Valiance gain a little bit of control on outside. They're sticking together. That's what you like to see, a passive hold from Nexa towards the team main. As the kill should go down fairly easily. That's a bit awkward. Hunter has his back turned to Saw as he walks around the bomb site. Nothing more to go through there, though, as Saw should be taken on low HP. Or should be taken out, rather. He's on low HP. But escaping a further fight for now. As Autumn picks up another 2. And he's on 2 HP. Doesn't want to fight any further. Let his teammates clean this one up. Havu will probably be happy to just save over this AK, though.
Yeah, probably. I mean, their money isn't amazing coming into the next round. They get, I believe, just $2,400. So this certainly would be ideal for that extra utility, etc. to come out. You can see Slowy really low on money. It could be worthwhile for him to get dropped over the rifle, perhaps. On the other hand, though, Hoodie, of course, only having a USP, he's probably just going to look for a couple of exits if possible. Saw actually taking some further damage as he was dropping down off the roof, and now at that Nexus just able to chase him down. He sees him jump into the spawn. The timing was pretty fortunate in favor of Saw as he just about escaped around the corner. But a flash coming through now. You can see they want to hunt this down. They know that it's worthwhile for them to take this AK away. Hoodie back on the roof actually is going to be giving his teammates some help. But not enough to stop him from going down, as Esperanto does win out the fight eventually. Will he go down to the USB though? I don't think he's really going to be risking it too much. Knows there's nothing really to take off, but he should let him live over. It's not really a big deal.
Not too large of an affair. Let's see what Havu we're going to be going for here, though. We'll probably see an AWP. There it is. Hoodie's going to be dropping it over. And Slowly goes down to just an XM. Not ideal. But you can certainly see it causing some damage.
Yeah, no, I think he had it in one of the other rounds as well. Was playing it up close on the hut, if I recall correctly. Was able to get a dink, etc. But I don't think he got a frag with it. So maybe this round breaks that curse. Maybe he can pull out a couple of auto shotgun kills. But as they rush towards the ramp room, I don't think he's going to be the one to actually be given the opportunity. It's Hoodie to get the opening, but he is very quickly returned on by Hunter. So a 4-on-4 now as Valiance push towards B.
It's a relatively clean round for them, all things considered. I mean, a 4v4 if they get that bomb down, which they should pretty safely. Very aggressive with the auto shotgun. I suppose that's the point of it. But no kills to be found for Slowly. As the bomb goes down, now they've just got to play it slow. Go play it passive. And Havu have a choice to make. Retaking with an AWP
No
or...
kit.
Oh, indeed. Yeah, no kit to play with. So this is very risky. Slowly finds the trade onto Esperanto at least. As the door opens, though, Letney's easily able to find the angle onto Twixie. And the weapon upgraded and the AWP still in play. Let's just go for a save. There's no time. Okay, smoking it, just running out. Gonna go for it. The AWP finds one. Is there
Doesn't
time
have
for
it,
that
I don't
defuse
think.
to come through? I don't think so.
Oh, wait, they're leaving? I don't think he has time for the defuse. The music started just before
One
it,
sec.
but maybe... No, he doesn't. See? Told you, Esperanto left too early. Come back, Esperanto. It's not over. 2 more rounds, you can bring it to overtime. Put on the 10-second warning music, man. You should notice.
Yeah, that's a bit of a yikers. I mean, you could tell though straight away that there was no time for them to actually get that
you
in.
could.
I'm surprised that they,
I mean,
that
in
they
the-
stuck with it.
In the heat of the moment, it's probably a little
Oh
bit,
yeah,
a little
sure,
bit.
but I'm just surprised that they went for it because there were a couple players that were dead. Should have maybe been coming over like, okay, let's not go for this. It's not really worth it, time wise.
Yeah, but don't be a loser by a diffuser. Is that what we can get from that last round?
Maybe. You know what? Maybe. I suppose they wanted the extra utility, but so far it's been a pretty consistent one for Valiance
Mitch,
to find the bomb
If they
plant.
saved the AK, though, they might have had a kit.
That is true. That is,
We
but they
could go back to that
almost
previous round.
definitely would have.
Yeah, that's what I mean, because they would have got the extra utility. They probably would have got a kit out. So them taking just out that 1 AK in the round before could have been what won them that round right there.
But it's not.
It's not, no.
Didn't
But it
come
could
to
have
be.
led to it. I'm just saying every little thing, it adds up together. 1 weapon, it all means a lot in CS. But yeah, back onto the pistol, some Kevlar. There's an op and an MP9 in play for Havu. This shouldn't be the round, but we can't count them out. On paper, this should be round 30 coming up to decide if it's going to be the end or if it's going to be overtime. A quick play towards A means Twixie is going to go down. And it's a quick man advantage alongside control of the A-bomb. So, ooh, get wrecked. Wait, what's happening right now? Hoodie actually able to find one as well. Maybe some more. Takes a lot of damage, though, so I don't think he wants to keep taking that fight.
They go for this 100%, but losing Zora on the way in, that's not ideal. As Hoodie goes for the fight, he'll be taken down very, very easily. There it is. Next, it takes him down. And now into a 2v3. They've got a Krieg, but they go in for it. I thought this time they'd go for the save with the Krieg and the AK. Evidently not. Spotted around the smoke. The feet were seen. And 15-14. Havu are going to go for one final buy here, or we're going to hit an overtime. Match is paused for now, and this has got to be a big tactical discussion from what has been a phenomenal lead. I mean, Havu were up 15-9 at one point. To now find themselves in this position is not ideal, but it's not over yet. They still have the chance. Worst case scenario is an overtime for them, but with the momentum Valiance have started to build up, they probably won't want to give them any opportunity to find a victory.
Yeah, it'd be heartbreaking if this was where Valiance falls short. After 2 slow starts on either side, after going down massively and then being overall successful in these gun rounds once they've kind of got things rolling, it would be a heartbreaking way to lose it if they do end up going down 16-14. It's been a great attempt at the comeback, but let's see, because Havu, they want to close it out right now, and Mitch, they're not making that mistake again. Look at the kits. There's one on every single player. they're making sure that if it comes down to a similar situation that it will go in their favor this time. But let's see, because for the moment, Valiance just going for a default. Most of their pressure is they already take control of the ramp room, has been successful. They have one player lurking on outside as the B-bomb site looks to go in control of them already as the smokes go down. Bomb plant going to come in. It's a 5-on-5. This isn't something you see often on Nuke.
No, it absolutely isn't. Havu failing to get anything done early on, and Hoodie's in a bit of danger here, caught out in the open. Letney eliminates him. This is scary. Havu are looking very likely to be bringing this to an overtime to try and find their victory. As they poke and prod at this defense of Valiance. Oh, the spams are good. Slowy finds one from the ramp onto a low HP Auden. And he gets another and more. Keep on coming. 3-piece on the board. It's all onto Esperanto. Coming up behind him is Slowy. And he catches him. Now with the kid in play, just going to run on over there. Does he have time though? I don't think so. I think they've delayed just long enough on that T side. And he's shaking his head. He knows that he's a second away. But unfortunately, that second will cost them an OT. We're going over there.
For time. It's happening, Mitch. This is where it comes down to just the gun rounds. I feel like this is where Valiance should be shining through. Especially if Slowy... Oh no, Slowy got the reward. It was Esperanto who's gone from the server. Again, Esperanto, it's not over, man. Come back. I'm only messing. He's trying to just get a quick restart in this time, I hope. But yeah, I feel like, again, as I was saying, with kind of the pistol rounds going in favor of Havu, with them having taken such tremendous leads to start off both halves and still not being able to close it out. I feel like now with the economy not being an issue, it should be Valiance kind of shining through with that experience and also with the individual firepower.
Yeah, the momentum is the big factor, though. The fact that they've been able to build this up on their buy rounds and the latter stage of the T side and just gain so much control. I mean, the other thing that you could say, though, is that they've had 2 rounds now that they've come out on top in where they were up against match point, and they were literally defined by 1 second. The first one, that it had to be a 9-second defuse as they had no kit. And the second one, a 4-second. It's been 1 second that saved them each time. That's not ideal to put yourself into a position, especially when you're in a 5v5 and you're in that position where you've got control of the B bomb site, you've got utility to play with. You know, the CDs have to come in for the retake with bomb planted, and it's still going to be such a narrow margin that you win by. It does present a bit of hope for Havu.
Yeah, I mean, we're probably just going to have to wait and see. Hopefully it won't be too long before we're hopping back into the action. It's been a long matchup so far, of course. We still have a couple more games to go. I believe Prosto versus Sprout will be the one immediately to follow this. If I recall correctly, I've actually seen already that it is going to be an Inferno matchup. I think that one's actually already started, currently sitting at 2-1, if the HLTV scoreboard is correct. I would imagine it is. I don't think they're going to be waiting for us, unfortunately. Not much you can do in this game. It's going the extent and even further, of course, into overtime.
Yeah, indeed. We got a very close game, and that's it's the nature of it. When you get those, the other teams in the Esea, they're not going to be waiting. They're flying on ahead. But it's not too far gone yet, so if we do see this end in just an OT, we can hop straight on in and get things a-rolling. We got Esperanto back. I'm just waiting on a couple players, I guess, to go get themselves some water, get themselves some drinks, and chill out. Gotta make sure you're on a level head coming into this for both teams. Sure, Havu have thrown away a 15-9 lead, but they were very close in just a couple of opportunities that weren't really capitalized on.
So, Mitch, what do you think of this Havu lineup? Who's your standout player, anyway?
I mean, for me at the moment, certainly in the past, I've taken a look at Slowy, but and right now, I think that's kind of followed through. Just checking the stats there. He's just below 180 ore for this matchup. And
that's pretty impressive considering we're starting around 31, right?
Yeah, indeed. Just slightly +1 on the kills per round as well. He's on 31. And he's just a consistent player. You can rely on him for clutches. You can rely on him to get the openings as well. Oh, coming on into it though. We're rolling through. As Havu start out in the CT side, they're going to get early vents control. Slowy doesn't want them to be able to easily walk down to B as they did before. The Valiance aren't trying that just yet. They're taking things slow, spread out, sending 2 towards outside. But they still have players across the other parts of the map where they want to just hold down and make sure that they're not allowing anyone to push up behind them. Get a little bit freaky and frisky in the back lines,
Frisky from behind, is that what you're saying, Mitch?
if you please.
I mean, that's the point of it. But here we go. It's a minute remaining. Bit of nade damage early on. We were talking about how the I thought that the economy now in overtime was going to favour Valiance, but we can't forget Havu being on the CT side now, not having to worry about pulling out the nades and molotovs and smokes. It's certainly going to make things a little bit easier for them, but let's see how it goes now. 45 seconds remaining. Valiant's going to have to commit very, very soon, as it is going to be towards this A-bomb. Sayhudi, a good hold to get the first. I don't know why I pronounced that so strangely, but either way, one frag certainly not really being enough in this position, because Nexa has also chimed in. It's Twixie on the bomb site, who's still alive and actually managing to get this done, as the bomb it gets thrown in his direction as he finds the frag, but Esperanto and Otto are pulling it back again. What's happening? It's all on Zori running out of heaven as he falls down, and it is unfortunately the P250 of Otto that's waiting for him.
Yeah, he commits to it as he pushes on forward, and that's certainly going to cause some issues for them. As he's eliminated, Valiance regained the lead on 16-15. And in overtime, I mean, so far, just in regulation, we've seen a massively T-sided performance from both teams. But now the Valiance are showing up a little bit more. I question as to whether we're going to see that from Havu again. It'll certainly be difficult to maintain the same kind of win ratio. Valiance still sitting in towards the T-spawn.
Is this the first time Valiance have actually led? I think they tied it once at 8-8 after they won the pistol, right? But
just to quickly jump in, we're going to have a reset, I assume, on the round. They're all sitting in T-spawn. As I think Hunter's DC'd, or he's AFK, one or the other. But yeah, I think this might be the first time that they've taken the lead. Looking through regulation. Yes. Yep, first time that they've been ahead on this map so far.
yeah, that's what I thought. As I said, they've been able to equalize it at 8-8 after that first half, but then losing the force by, they let it go away. And of course now it's been looking good for Valiant since then. They had a little bit of struggle letting another couple of rounds go, of course, and it eventually being brought to overtime. But I feel like, considering again they had such slow starts, they lost both pistol rounds rather. I do feel like that coming into the overtime, this is where they're going to shine. But they do need 5 players. As we do see Hunter return to the server, that means we probably will see Match Medic coming through pretty soon.
Yeah, indeed. This round will be restarted. Don't you worry.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry, child.
Might not be restarted soon. Hunter's bailed out again.
I mean, I don't know. We're not too sure what the issue is exactly, of course, but he's back again. That's all we can say. Guess who's back? Back again.
I mean,
Hunter's back. Someone tell the admin.
So we can get things Match Medic and rolling.
Exactly.
Hopefully he's legitimately back. Let's take a look at him.
He's buying
there
up.
we go.
That's a good sign.
It is
Again,
indeed.
it should be Match Medic. It's 16-15 for Valiance.
Just gotta wait for that to come on through. Typing in the Orcon commands can sometimes take a little minute. Don't want to restart the server by accident. So looking at this, Valiance have already got themselves around the board, but one of the things that I was curious about as they moved over to T side was their momentum, and they certainly started to build it up towards the latter ends of both halves. Will this pause now affect them? I mean, it's of their own regard, the fact that 100 DC'd, but hopefully that doesn't cause too much of a problem and a pause to their momentum as we move on into it. There's been a little bit of a break for Havu to maybe sit down and think about what they want to do differently for their CT side.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what at this point rather they should be doing. I don't think we've really seen them try and maybe get an opera around into Secret at the start, or even just a rifle to hold down that position, because in general that B-bomb site has been slightly exploited, more so I would say towards the ramp room, but even just having the secret control of course gives you the ability for a very quick rotate, which is kind of being their issue, because they're always kind of just giving up that B-bomb site. Going into a retake, even towards the end of the regulation, of course, we've seen that was an issue for Havu, having to try and retake B over and over again, sometimes not even having the fuse kits to do it. Not ideal. Yeah, as you said, although this is a pause at the moment, it might be slowing down the momentum. It does give both sides time to discuss.
Gives both sides the time to discuss, sure, but I feel like Valiance kind of stumbled upon the winning formula towards the end of the last couple buy rounds we saw coming through. And here's the match restarting one more time. One more time, maybe. Okay, that's 16-16. That's not what it should be.
Hit me,
One more time.
baby, one more time. Oh, just so you know, no, hang on. Since you're a massive CS:GO noob, Mitch, I'm going to inform you that when you match medic, the round score doesn't always update until after one round is played out.
Oh, well, there you go. Didn't know that.
That might not be this case. I don't know. Maybe our producer can comment, but I know that does happen sometimes. Maybe not on ECA servers. Could be lying. I am right. Okay, I am right.
Okay.
See, Mitch, you're just silly.
I can't deny it. The most recent match medic that happened while I was around, they accidentally restarted the server.
Oh.
So that was fun.
How did that happen? I mean, the match medic should still work after the servers are started, right?
I'm not an expert, but
'Cause
apparently
I
it
believe
didn't.
it just saves the files of what was going on in there. Yeah.
At halftime, it was the pistol round. They ended up having to restart the pistol, and so they accidentally restarted the whole thing. So it was just 0-0. So we had to remember, like, when these guys get to 8, they've won. It was an awkward one.
But yeah, it's 16-15 as we said, should be shown properly on that scoreboard after this round. Whether it'll stay 16-16 or whether Valiance will manage to take a round from Havu and make it 17-15, that's the question. I'm making this more confusing. It's not needed, but I'm doing it anyway. But yeah, boys coming in. We should be going live soon, I'd imagine.
The boys
boys,
are
yeah.
coming in.
The boys are
Boys
coming
are
in.
on their way.
Let's get a bag of cold cans with the boys.
With the boys. Cold cans of Mountain
know.
Dew, the new energy drink. That's what you want
Oh,
to go
really?
for.
Okay, yeah.
Mountain
Oh,
Dew
and game fuel as well. We've been informed
That's the
we also
stuff.
have to sell out to that as well. Goddamn. Only
I'm
messing.
just
We
waiting
love
on
yous.
I'm waiting on the free
Personally,
promotional packs. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I just can't really drink that stuff. It wasn't recommended to me when I was a child and had epilepsy. You know, I'm just not a big fan. You know, makes my
Fair
heart
enough.
hurt. It's not good.
Well, you know what makes my heart hurt? Seeing the CT side
Mitch.
just being torn apart, and let's hope that doesn't happen again. As Valiance start to make their way towards outside, the cross smokes are down. This time, throwing them from up close on red because they don't intend to push on forward. They're going up on top of red with the AWP to try and catch a couple players off and maybe find some kills. That doesn't look to be the case though. Havu are holding here from heaven. Not over towards the CT spawn. Not cut out by that. Valiance refocus. They want to take things towards the A bomb site. Sending Esperanto through outside. Everybody else is going to be moving slowly back towards team main. And will they push? That's the question. It does look like it's going to be A, but they still have the potential to bring it towards ramp if they want to. Bomb not yet committing and actually making its way towards radio, which starts to make me think that that's where the push is coming, even despite the fact that they're setting up utility on the A bomb side. A little bit of a fake, you could say. Otto in a little bit of danger, gets lit up. He's going to be backing off very quickly. Esperanto on outside tries to catch them off, but doesn't find anything. Ramp control luckily is seized, but they trade out a player for it.
Yeah, it's looking like this B bomb site, although it will be lost for the CT side. They are still in a decent position. Oh, hang on though. Twixie gonna come through. Quickly denies the bomb plant and finishes it off onto Nexa just moments afterwards, as of course he was just crouched out in the open. Not much that could be done. And now it's actually 16-16.
The
So,
score's frozen, Dean. Get the admin. No.
Frozen. Get silly admin.
No admin. Kick admin.
Why are we paying this admin? Fire him. I'm only messing. Whoever the admin is.
Yeah, you're doing a great job, admin. Don't pay any attention to us. 16-16. Now is the legitimate scoreline. Don't worry about it. Say nothing, do nothing, but do watch. Let's see what's going to happen as Valiance come into the final round of their T side here in overtime. And if you're wondering why it's not 17-16 like Banana is, it's because we had a little bit of a tech issue. The round had to be restarted, and sometimes with Match Medic, like Dean was explaining a little bit earlier on, the scoreline doesn't update until a little bit afterwards, until one round later. So the score was 16-15 in the previous round, now 16-16.
Yeah, it's just a matchmatic thing. The game isn't really meant to have these features. It's a little bit of an add-on. But either way, 16-16 now is the actual scoreline. Instead, at one point in time for the moment, one of these teams are going to be looking to try and take the lead as Nexus steps up. It's the in-game leader for Valiance who gives them some hope with the entries towards A. Letney then chimes in as well, but it's a 2-on-3 now, and with Nexus being so low on HP, I was going to say this is certainly doable for the CT side, but as I go to get the words out, it's Hunter who steps up, leaving Hoodie all alone. 1-on-3 is position known. This looks like it should be Valiance taking the lead at the half-time.
It does indeed, but Hoodie's been one of the players to step it up again and again in these clutch situations. Let's see if he can do it this time. Finds one, but with low HP, surely that should be an easy kill for Nex, and indeed it is. A third on the board as Valiance maintain their lead, 17-16. 2 rounds needed on their CT side, which should be easy to do, but they weren't really following a good track record in regulation, so it might not be as clean-cut of a victory as we'd imagined.
I mean, no matter what at this point, it's not going to be a clean-cut victory for either side. If Havu get it, it's been one that looks like it should have been easier, considering they had such one-sided begins to each I guess, half in regulation. And on the other hand, if Valiance get it, it's not a clean-cut one because they had to fight so hard to get back into the game. So no matter what, this has been extremely scrappy, but we're getting back into it. Here it is, Valiance now on the CT side. They have an advantage. They're up by 1 round. And Havu on the back foot. This is the first time we've seen them trying to work from behind. So let's see if they're going to be able to do it. Can they show off their comeback ability similar to what we've seen from Valiance? Here we go. No ops available for the T side. They're just going to be going for rifles. Slowy though, he's been loving the creek, so there is a scope.
Indeed there is. This is a little bit dangerous though, peeking right on into Auto. Hoodie's not going to be surviving all too long. And Valiance find the man advantage in a round that's so important for Havu. They want to start out with the victory here, because if it goes 18-16, that is just 1 round out of 2 needed for Valiance, and a scoreline that will not be difficult, or will not be easy rather, to overcome for Havu. 4v5 man disadvantage. At least they're on the T side with this. It's much easier to work with here than on CT. And looking to move towards ramp. That means the hold is going to be on Nexa. He's been huge in some of these rounds so far, and with an AUG, the range advantage as well in play, and maybe a little bit of an information game going his way, because they give away their position with the utility dispensed. They have no idea that he sat there behind the red box. Molotov, actually Otto's going to push back through it. With this, oh no, that could have been very awkward with Saw. Oh, Hunter, no! Don't do it.
I mean, they'll never expect you to molly yourself, is all you can say. It's next level from Hunter. He didn't want to sit around. He's living up to his name. He's going out hunting. And of course, he did manage to find the final frag. Valiance with 18 now. It's map and, well, just map point, because it's not really a series if it's only 1 map, Mitch.
That's true.
It's more of a, yeah. I don't know.
It's just match point, I guess.
Yeah, okay. But either way, 18-16, 1 to go. Havu, they need to pull off 2 in a row on the D side if they want to send it to a second overtime. That's the best they can do right now. Take it or leave it. And even then, they might not have the opportunity, because it's going to be Valiance again opening it up. It's Letney who gets aggressive on outside. There's no one to try and trade frag for Havu as Slowy goes down.
Indeed, with Slowy down, that's a little bit of a scary situation. He's been the big guy for the T's on both sides. Now we're looking to someone else to step it up. Zor with an AWP, Twixie, Hoodie, and Saw have all got AKs, but again a man disadvantage to work with, and it didn't go too well last time. Valiance only need this 1 round to close it out here. And they're playing it passive. They're not giving any opportunities for Havu to find the win. Havu kind of spending a bit of time gambling on the fact that they'll get a little bit aggressive, maybe play for some info. But with the man advantage, Valiance are happy to just wait.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's Havu really who have all of the pressure on them right now. So it's going to be tough. Molotov on top of the hood. Esperanto, I thought you would have saw that Molotov before being blinded, but apparently not. As we actually see the op on outside. being taken down. It's the up duel that goes in favor of the T side. Zori's giving them some hope. They're advancing down through Secret now. And if they go quickly, there's not going to be anyone on the way to try and actually stop them. You can see, I believe that's Nexito now rotating down from ramp. And the attack actually going to come back towards A. Hunter takes a lot of damage on top of the hook right now. There was 2 players in the same position, which may not have been expected. It allowed for one frag to at least come true from Hunter, but traded back on Havu right now. They're fighting right back into this round, rather, with a man advantage and the bomb going down. Letney, though, will he be able to step it up again?
The bomb goes down, but so too does Saw. And with a 2v2 in play, this could be what closes Havu out. Soar's got the angle, though. AWP in play. The problem is if he peeks out, he'll only be able to take one of them down before being eliminated himself. As the trades should go through. Misses the shot. Now they know where he is. Finds Nexa. Nade is good, but he's still 50 HP. With an AWP, that is just enough. Peek out and take the kill against the AUG. No time left, really, for Letney to find this. And Soar even lands the op shot. A 3-piece in the round. It's 18-17. One more round to go, and we could see another overtime come out. But Valiance, of course, with it being overtime, and indeed with them winning the round before that, they've still got themselves a very strong economy for a full buy. It's almost impossible to run out of money in standard OTs. Unless you buy 5 ops 2 rounds in a row.
Yeah, I mean, that's not too likely, especially on a map like Nuke. I don't think that's going to be happening, but yeah, this is it. Are we going to see another overtime, or are we going to see Valiance be able to actually go ahead and take the victory with a hard-fought comeback overall? They've had a couple of map points now. This is the second one for them to try and finally close it out. Again, we do actually see an up this time actually coming out for Havu, so a little bit different. Zori, of course, bringing that out in the previous round, was also able to find the opening. Can he do it again and maybe make it a little bit easier for them this time? They don't want to be going down onto the back foot like they did in that previous round. Holding very slowly, though, expecting the aggression to come true. And that's, I guess, because of what we've seen in that previous round where they did use that aggression to open it up. It was Letney on outside. You can see Slowy this time. He's been a lot more cautious.
They've been playing for quite a while now. Approaching an hour and a half, I think.
A little bit over that, I believe. Yeah, no, around that.
Yeah.
True.
And it's... Oh, no. Twixie opens the door, gets taken down straight away. Slowy in there on the trade. That's Letney eliminated. No big round for him this time. Slowy's still alive, but he's taken down as well. The kills are coming in for Hunter, who's eventually taken by a Tech 9. But a man advantage obtained. An M4 and an AK-47. M4 looking to close it out, and it's not going to happen. Esperanto comes through the smoke at the right time to eliminate Zor and take us to an overtime victory of 19-17. But my God, that was close.
Yeah, that was indeed a very close one. Again, though, a little bit disappointing for Havu. Haven't been able to actually pick up both pistol rounds, and in the end, not being able to take the victory is a little bit heartbreaking. But yeah, either way, it's the victory, of course, eventually being found for Valiance. A little bit harder than we would have expected, but it wins a win.